What's up, guys? The Snowman here. Really exciting time in the football calendar right now as the 2024 European Championships quickly approaching. In today's video, we're going to go over the format of the prestigious competition that is the Euros. So things like how often it occurs, how many teams compete, qualification, group stage, knockout stage, schedule, everything to get you pumped for the Euros. So what is the UEFA European Championship, also referred to as the Euro or Euros? Essentially, it's the main football tournament organized by the Union of European Football Associations, or UEFA for short. It's a competition that's contested by the senior men's national teams to determine the continental champion of Europe. So basically, it's the main international football tournament in Europe, kind of like the FIFA World Cup, but only open to European countries. Each continent or football confederation has their own tournament that they organize where nations battle it out for continental glory, Copa America for South America, Gold Cup for North America, etc. This is simply the main national tournament in Europe. The Euros were first played back in 1960, and since then the competition has been played every 4 years except for 2020 when the event was postponed to 2021 due to COVID-19. The number of teams that compete at the final tournament has changed over the years. It started out as just a 4-team competition back in 1960, then the number increased to 8 teams in 1980, 16 in 96 until Euro 2016. That was the first edition with 24 teams competing, and that's the number of teams at least through 2032, 24 European nations battling for continental supremacy at the Euros. Now you might be wondering, how do we arrive at those 24 teams at the final event? Well, in the 2 years leading up to the Euros, we have an extended qualification process to whittle it down. How qualifying works is that we take our 55 countries that are a part of the European Football Confederation, or UEFA. We exclude whichever country is the Euro host nation, since they qualify automatically, and then the other 54 teams are split up into 10 groups of 5 or 6 teams each. This is an example of the groups for Euro 2024 qualification. Every team plays the others in their group twice each, once at home and once on the road. Wins are worth 3 points, draws are 1, losses are 0. At the end of qualifying, the top 2 teams with the most points in each group qualify for the final competition. And then we also have 3 qualifying slots for teams outside of the top 2 in their group. A nation can qualify via the playoff. The teams that gain access to this UEFA playoff avenue are based on their standing in the UEFA Nations League. Just know that for certain European nations, even if they don't finish in the top 2 in qualifying, they still have this back channel playoff route to make it into the final tournament. Once we have our final 24 teams all set, then the real fun begins. UEFA conducts a draw where all countries are placed into a final group. Just like with the World Cup, this draw typically takes place in the December leading up to the Euro final tournament the following summer. Teams are seeded according to their rankings throughout qualifying, drawn out of pots and placed into one of 6 groups having 4 teams each. There's always a big spectacle made out of the final draw process. This is an example of the final groups for Euro 2024. Again, 6 groups of 4 nations. The final tournament is played in the summertime, usually 1 month long throughout June and July. In terms of the format of the final tournament, we have a group stage plus a knockout stage, very similar to how the World Cup is set up. For the group stage, every team plays the others in their group once, so all countries guaranteed to play at least 3 matches. All matches are played within the host nation, which is selected and voted on by UEFA each edition. The top 2 countries from each group in terms of total points will automatically advance to the knockout stage, with the 4 best third place teams moving on as well. Speaking of the knockout stage, this is what it looks like. We take our 16 teams from the group stage and create a 16-team single elimination knockout bracket. This was the bracket back at Euro 2020. From here on out, the format is pretty simple. We play our round of 16 matches, 90 minutes plus extra time, and then penalties if necessary. The winners move on to the quarterfinals. We play another round of knockout games. semifinals, and then eventually just 2 teams remain. They play one final match to determine a champion of Europe, along with the coveted Henri Delaney trophy, about 28 million euros in prize money, and continental glory. One last thing, this is a quick look at the all-time table as of 2024. These are all the countries that have either won the European Championship or been to the final. 10 different nations have lifted the trophy: Germany and Spain, the most successful teams in the history of the competition. They've each won the tournament on 3 separate occasions: Italy and France with a pair of titles each. It's funny, the Euros have already been won by 10 different nations, while the World Cup, which is 30 years older, has only been won by 8 different countries. So the Euros definitely seem to be more up for grabs. It seems like you have more shocks, more upsets at the Euros, like in 2004 when Greece won it all. It's a high-quality football tournament, but also loads of parity, which makes for an extremely entertaining product. Thanks a lot for watching my Euro Explained video. Please leave a comment if you have any questions. Let me know who you're excited to watch at the 2024 Euros. If you want more soccer and football coverage, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media and be on the lookout for more weekly videos. Cheers!